So in this video, we're going to look at tagging structural elements on our sheets. So we're going to start off with the foundation. So in our project browser, we're going to go to the top of foundation plan. So just in the floor plan section, click on top of foundation plan. We're going to see this is the sheet, this is the view we set up earlier on with all our grid lines of foundations. So we're just going to tag these. What we mean by tagging them is just basically adding a little annotation. So when you look at the plans, information about what you see will show up. So we're going to show how the foundation, we're going to add information to the foundations. So again, in this case, we're going to just the dimensions of each of the foundations are going to show up. So we're going to go to our annotate tab along the top here. And we're going to go tag by category. So there's lots of different options here. We're going to go over to this area here, tag by tag, and click on tag by category. Again, we'll just click a random foundation here. Okay, and in my case, a tag is actually already shown up, so it's just basically showing its dimensions. So it's 2,750 by 2,750 by 600 millimeters. So if you've clicked on the tag by category and no foundation tag has actually been loaded into Revit, you may have to load them up yourselves. Again, you can check that out on the notes, but I'll just bring it onto the screen here. If you need to load one up, you might get this option here, so there's no tag for structural foundations. Do you want to load one now? You would click yes. And then you can find the families in this order here if you have them all installed. So you go down to Program Data, Autodesk, Revit or VT, depending what version you're using. It could be 2020 or 2023, or any version to be honest. And then Libraries, UK, Annotation, Structural, and they should have the information. You should have the tags in there, and you'll see different tags will show up. And if you do have to load them up, we're going to load up the Anno tag structural foundation. So I'll just bring that back across here. Okay, so let's keep going. So again, now once that tag is active and loaded in, then every time you click on a foundation, you'll see a tag will just appear. So even if you hover over it, it'll actually give it a kind of a preview. And depending on whereabouts you actually hover over the foundation, it'll actually put the tag in a preview where it's going to be. So if I have it on top of the foundation here, it'll go above it. If I go to the side, it'll go to the side. If I go to the bottom, it'll go to the bottom, and so on and so forth. I guess the main thing is, the most important thing is that your tag is going to be somewhere that's going to be easy to see. So obviously if you're tagging, you're putting information onto the drawing, you want it to be able to be clear. So putting it here along a grid line along the side may not be the best way to do it. So maybe above here, again, it's kind of going through a grid line here, but it's not as bad as this one here where it's actually going through the whole tag. And again, you will notice that the tag, the family reads whatever the foundation is called. So if you wish for that foundation to be named something else, you'll have to change the data that the family reads. So we'll just do a little example of that. So we see we have our tag active here at the moment. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on the edit family. So sorry, we can just press escape a couple of times. So if we click on our tag, you'll see up along the ribbon here, there's an option for edit family. So we want to just double click on that. So click on edit family once we have tags highlighted in blue, and you'll see the tag or the family preview will appear. So this is just text showing how the text will actually appear on screen. Next thing we're going to do, again, just click on it, make sure it's gone blue, so that means we're selected. We're going to click on edit type over in the properties tab. So click on edit type. We're going to duplicate it because again we don't want to type over something we've already used before. So again, whatever the default name is, I'm just going to call mine 3mm type mark. And then we're going to click OK. And then click OK down here. And then on the option up along here, you'll see in the Modify tab is selective. There's an option here for a label. So we're going to now edit the label. So if we click on this button, this little dialog box will show up. So this is actually where we're going to remove the type name for the parameters column and then replace with a type mark. So we have our parameters here. We have our options we want to bring in. So we have currently bring in type name. So when I click on this, you'll see a little red arrow here shows up. This removes it from the label. So we want to remove type name. Then scroll down in this little drop down, in this little list of options here. We're going to select type mark and click on the green arrow, which adds the parameter to the label. So let's bring that across, click apply, and then click OK. And then once we're back on this screen, we're going to, the option at the top, we're going to load into project and close. And do I want to save changes to the thing, to the structural foundation tag? We're going to click yes. Again, to save us saving over it, we're just going to rename it. So actually in this case, I'm going to rename it. So just add TUT3 at the end, and you can save it wherever you need it. It doesn't really make a difference for the moment. So click save. Yes, now mine already exists because I actually just had a practice run of this tutorial before I recorded it, of course. So we'll just click yes. And now we've actually, that's all saved in there, still going. Okay, so now it's good. Okay, so next thing we do, now we're going to select a pad footing. So we'll just select this one here. We're going to click on edit type. And you'll see here on type, where it says type mark, so we're just going to go down around here, where we're going to go. Anyway, sorry, I've gone blind there for a second. So in type mark, what we want to do is PF1, so that's pad foundation 1. And then we're going to click OK. I'm going to click apply first just to be safe, and then click OK. So now we can actually annotate each pad foundation PF1. So again, we can change the leader, for example, to 6 millimeters, or shorten the length of the line between PF1 and pad. So let me just click on this one here. So where are we going to go? Sorry, let's escape out of that. Let's bring up the annotate option again. So go along the top, click on annotate, tag by category. And now you see when we click on the foundation, PF1 is actually going to show up. So again, now we can annotate each pad foundation as PF1. And again, other things we can do, we can change the leader size. So you'll see along here, there's a few different options here for horizontal tags, leader. What we can do, just for example, just to play around, it's currently set to 12.67, so we'll just change that to 6 just to see what happens. Let's click out of it, hit enter, and change to 6 mil. That'll just change the leader length. And see if you drag this out here, and see we got the little move icon here, the drag icon. It looks like the move symbol. You can just move it out here so we can see the leader a little bit better. And then we'll just click escape a couple of times just to show you. So this is what we've done. We've changed the tag. Instead of bringing up the dimensions, we have PF1 and we have the leader here. So just a different way we can do it. What we want to do next is, what you can actually just do yourselves, we're going to, using the PF1 option tag, we're just going to go around and actually add a tag to each one of the foundations. So it's all the ones along the top and all the ones along the side. So using what we did there, again, everything is set up ready to go. Just click on tag by category, and then to start going along, tagging each one of these with the PF1 foundation tag. Once you've got that done, then we can move on to the next video, which will be looking at schedules. So you can pause this video now for a few minutes, and then we'll have a quick look what it's supposed to look like, and then we can move on to the next one. Okay, so coming back, we'll see I've actually just added the PF1 tag. Again, I've aligned them in a position where the leader isn't actually, want to see them too much. So, and you'll see the first one here, we have the original tag here. So I'll just delete this one. I'll just click on this tag. I'll just delete it. And we'll just align this PF1 up a little bit. Actually, sorry, we'll align it with the other ones. And again, as I said, like with the other tags, they were kind of all going through the grid lines here. So if you've tagged them individually, you probably all look like this, where the tag line is actually going on the grid line. So again, what I'd like to do next is just go along each one of the tags and just move them off to the side like this, so we can actually see them a little bit clearly. A little bit more clear. And then have a go at doing that, and then we'll pause the video and we'll come back again when you're finished. And again, this is just more of an exercise in getting used to using the tag. So why don't you just experiment a little bit, so we can actually just move it. Instead of actually going around doing everything, we can just move a few of them around here, so we can play around here. You can see if you click on these, you can play around a different type of leaders. To say, play around these little options. Just go around maybe one row where the tags are, and just play around with different settings, just moving them to different positions. Play around the types of leaders. the lengths and all that type of thing, just to, you know, get used to doing it. So get used to playing with the commands. So once you've done that, then again, it'll look whatever way it looks, whatever way you've actually customized them yourself. But again, we should have at least have the PF1 on every foundation, and again, and have one line of them where you've just had to play around with how the tag is going to look. Again, my computer is going slow, just with all the graphics, but hopefully yours looks something like this with a few customized looking leaders where I show the details. So we'll move on to the next video after this, where we're going to look at schedules. Okay, thank you.